Hello, my name is Josh Atkinson, and you have once again stumbled upon my oil painting YouTube channel. Before I get started with today's painting, I wanted to ask everybody to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell just to help out with the old algorithm. It really does help. But today I will show you how I arrived at this uh, abstract portrait. I hesitate to tell you it's abstract in case you couldn't tell. Um, yes, I've been doing uh, lots of political portraits, oligarchs, and while this has been in fact, empirically, most politically catastrophic week of my life, I do not have a portrait of a politician this week. This is a random person. Anyway, I'll get into all that during the time lapse. Okay, so here's our source image, an actor lit from below playing a soldier. I believe the movie is Quatermass and the Pit. It might be the Stone Tape, but I think it's Quatermass and the Pit. I was trying over the last year to see all of the BBC like made for TV horror and sci-fi films that I had never gotten around to seeing. So he's from one of them, and I'm pretty sure it's Quatermass in the Pit. But anyway, I was just struck by his face, and I've always had, I don't know, sort of like a fear response to cops and military officials and people who might put you in prison, basically. Um, I don't know what that comes from, a past life or just growing up queer in the South or whatever. But anyway, so I grabbed a screenshot. And you can see I'm jumping right into abstraction. There's really no attempt to get a recognizable likeness. Giving him a big kind of horsey mouth. This painting is from the second week in May, so as usual, it's about 2 months old. And yeah, if you're new here, I say every week that I do an abstract painting, which has been kind of every week for months now, that I don't have a how-to. My only things that I've come to believe is that it's helpful to have a point of view, and that it's helpful to try to find like visual patterns or motifs that you can repeat, that you can impose on different sections of the subject. Maybe you find a pattern of wrinkles from one part of the face and you put them somewhere else, something like that. Um, with oil paint, I never really mentioned this, but I definitely do this in multiple sittings. Um, there's a limit to how much paint you can actually get onto the canvas, um, because it gets so wet that it won't take any more. At least that's my understanding, because I didn't go to art school. Um, but so yeah, um, in America right now uh, we've got we've got ICE, which is supposed to be border control, and yet they have infiltrated um, most of all of America, and America really is mostly not a country with a lot of border. There's a southern border and a northern border, and they are uh, looking for people who look or sound Latino everywhere, and um, the president has made it that you can send them to concentration camps in El Salvador, and is working on making it that you can send them to concentration camps in countries that we have literal travel bans for our citizens against going to, like South Sudan, a country in active civil war. Um, or am I confusing? If there's South Sudan and Libya. Maybe I'm confusing it with Libya. I don't know. They're places that I've never given any thought to going to because they're not safe. But we're sending people there, and we're building Alligator Alcatraz in the middle of the Everglades. It flooded the first day that it was built. It has no septic system. Um, And Laura Loomer posted about how there's 65 million people that can be fed to alligators, despite the fact that there are only an estimated 11 million uh, undocumented immigrants in America. She was referring to the 65 million people of Latino descent. So we are just trying to, no, not we, the president, his administration is trying to turn America into a white ethno state. But anyway, I'm supposed to be talking about art. Um, Soldiers make me anxious. That's why I'm painting this dude. Um, I'm making him look frightening. Like and subscribe. This is YouTube. I have to say that. Like and subscribe. Um, as far as visuals, I don't even know how to describe this. This part of his face is starting to become sort of like a sirloin, steak or something. Um, One thing that I do definitely always stay married to is following the light source. Um, I guess you don't have to if you're abstracting. I guess you can do anything you want, but for me, it is important. The light is clearly coming from below, so I'm inventing these forms that have their angles that I kind of discover as I go. Um, but I'm following the light as it is as it exists in the source image. I am keeping it coming from below. Now I'm probably going to find some example of how I failed to do that and contradict myself, but the intention is to be a competent artist and not make mistakes. But whatever. Um, I'm adding little probably cadmium uh, red lights, just little transition, like going from the light area to the shadow area. It's good to have some kind of transitional color. Cadmium red light is a favorite of mine. I've talked about many times on this channel. It adds just such a level of intensity that if you want a warm, intense color, I really don't think it can be beat. Um, this year, I also found the joy of Indian yellow, almost like yellow ochre, but just I don't know, somehow much more vibrant. Really, just special color. It does something entirely different. Anyway, and now I'm just throwing in very loose suggestion of his military cap, um, to make it clear that he's a soldier, because I felt that that was valuable to the painting. And yeah, that here's some detail shots. It's a 9 by 12 inch oil painting on a sheet of oil paper or sheet of canvas. So then, yes, that is how I arrived at this portrait of a random actor whose name I should have looked up from a BBC movie, TV movie. Um, I haven't recorded the voiceover yet, but hopefully I did bring up the fact that I painted him because he was portraying a soldier. So it is still kind of in line with the political abstract portraits I've been doing. He's got his little military hat on. It's obviously the most abstract thing I've done thus far. Don't know how other people will feel about it, but I'm like incredibly proud of this painting. I love how crazy it is. I love how, I don't know, I can't explain the process of how I got here. I just kind of trusted myself. I'm more and more, I'm trusting myself. And I think that's the most important thing you can do as an artist trying to find your own voice, is like trust your gut more than your head. Um, and and it's helpful to maybe not listen to other people in that process. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you to the like 21 new subscribers I got this week. At the time of this recording, I'm at 830. The goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, so great progress. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Um, if you enjoyed this video, you can check out the previous week where I started out painting Steve Bannon and wound up with this like flower of evil flesh petal tooth thing. Makes sense. Or the previous week where I have an abstract Nancy Pelosi painting, because behind every evil Republican, there's a team of uh, lazy Democrats who stood by and let them take power. So on that note, I've been ending my videos with calls to action, I guess. Calls to your senators, because if you don't, they don't take action themselves. They just take money from their corporate owners, sorry, donors. Um, And the big beautiful bill passed, so Medicaid's going to be over. Apparently, as soon as Trump leaves office, so that the American people think that it's the Democrats' fault. And in certain ways, you can argue that it is. Um, Permissiveness, laziness, not representing your constituents so that you can take corporate money, in that way. Um, but so I don't have any thoughts about action. My immediate reaction to the bill passing was like I just started like trying to like Google like what do we call this? Is this white supremacy? Is this extremism? And what I arrived at, and I think this is accurate, is that this is Christian nationalism. Trump is not a Christian. He's just a blunt instrument that people like Mike Johnson and Stephen Miller can use to destroy uh, people of color and queer people and disabled people, especially most quickly without Medicaid. And so once he's out of the picture, then Christian nationalists can just kind of, take over with their agenda. Anyway, so I guess that's it. I'm going to try to educate myself about that. And maybe that's what we can do for now until, I don't know, we organize. And I think the next thing that we can do is just have a general strike. I think that's the only thing that we can do right now, shut down the economy. Anyway, um, take care. I will see you in 7 days with another abstract portrait. Don't remember who of. Probably not a politician because I think I needed a break. Um, but anyway, I will see you in 7 days. Take care. Bye bye.